What I've got here with me today is the new Xplore iX104. This is the C5 model, which follows on from the C4 model. Now look, it looks exactly the same as the C4 model and all the previous models, and that means that all the standard accessories like the docking stations, etc. will work with this new model, which is good. But it's gone through some pretty major changes under the hood. This super rugged tablet is now an Intel Core i7 with turbo boost. It's a real performer. Now typically when we talk about rugged PCs that you might use in the field, we're generally talking about a couple of years old technology. It's normally really poor performance, very slow, and the poor users that are out in the field having to use these devices just have to struggle with the most frustrating computers. But not so with the Xplore. Particularly now it's gone from the Core 2 Duo series right up to the Intel Core i7, so it's a massive performance jump even for the previous model, which itself was a pretty good performer. So with an Intel Core i7 on board, that means that it's probably more powerful than the current laptop or desktop that you're using. So that's really good news for field users who are going to be out there collecting data with these tablet PCs. In fact, because the Xplore has the option of a desktop docking station or an in-vehicle docking station, it can easily replace the current laptops that you're using. Now, before I go too far into the technical details, let's just have a think about what this kind of device is for. Well, because it's an ultra rugged machine with a beautiful indoor-outdoor readable display, you can see it's got an exceptionally wide viewing angle on it there. So that means you're going to see it turn up in places like power stations, oil rigs, oil refineries, gas refineries, all sorts of places like that where you've got a really rugged environment that needs a tough computer. Now, since it runs a full version of Windows 7, you can deploy your existing application straight onto this device. It's effectively a laptop. For example, if you had some sort of Excel spreadsheet and you wanted to take that out into the field, all you need to do is pop it onto your USB key, plug it into the device here, put it on the tablet, and you're away and running. You've got all of the smarts, the macros, the capabilities that you have built into your existing spreadsheet, and you've got it right on a device that's right at the point of collecting the data. If you've got an existing Windows program, perhaps like a data capture program, or maybe something that interfaces with one of your machines, you have that directly on the tablet here, and you can actually go straight out and become instantly mobile. It's as simple as that. I guess you might be wondering, exactly how rugged is the C5? Well, it's rated to the US military's 810G standard for a 4-foot drop of hot concrete. It's rated for temperature variations, thermal shock. It's rated for sand, dust, salt. It's rated also for vibrations. It's also got an IP67 rating, which is pretty staggering when you think about IP67 means how water and dust proof it is. It's rated for a submersion of up to 1 meter, so you can actually dunk this underwater. Now, I don't suggest that you do that, but it's pretty amazing to know exactly how tight it is. Like its predecessor, the Xplore C5 model is rated for use in certain hazardous environments. It has an ATEX Zone 2 Category 3 compliance. It also has the UL 1604 Class 1 Division 2 compliance. So you need to check with your safety standards as to what's required in your environment. But suffice to say, it is the highest level of hazardous area or intrinsic safety compliance that we've seen on a tablet yet. Alright, now getting into the technical details, obviously as you can see it's running Windows 7. It can run either 32 or 64-bit. You can pack up to 8 gigabytes of RAM into the device, which is fantastic. It's also got the Wacom digitizer, as we mentioned, which is a smart pen technology. It's not just a dumb stylus. It's also got the touch screen, so you can poke it with your fingers. Here's something new for you though. The Xplore C5 comes with either a standard Intel high-performance SSD drive or a RAID 1 dual SSD drive. So that's offering an unprecedented level of data protection for your important data when you're out in the field. You'll even find that the SSD drive is actually user replaceable, so that you can actually take the hard drive out and protect your data that way. So this is a very data-friendly machine. Security-wise, you've got all of the high-end PC tools at your disposal. Things like the onboard fingerprint reader here, so you can actually use your fingerprint to type in your password for you, which is a really good thing for a tablet because it allows you to have a nice complex password, but not to have to type it in with the on-screen keyboard all of the time. But also you've got TPM on board, you've got Intel anti-theft technology, so you can actually use CompuTrace, for example, to track down this machine and disable it if it goes missing. Mobility wise, the Xplore C5 has an onboard Gobi 2000 module. Now Gobi is a really common, really great modem which is globally compliant. It works very well on the Telstra NextG network since it is a 5-band modem. It has all the right bands to work on the Telstra and get the NextG coverage even in regional areas. One of the other important features that the Xplore has always had is a really high quality GPS module that snaps onto the side here. There's other add-on modules that you can actually get integrated into the device, and they can actually be integrated in the field as well. Now tucked away down behind these ports here, you'll find a couple of USB ports there, audio in and out, which is really handy for getting data on and off the device. Behind this one here you've got an Ethernet port, but also importantly you actually have the serial port that a lot of field users need to connect to some of their sort of legacy equipment. On the back of the device here you'll see the removable battery. The battery itself will get you about 3 hours of regular use, and you've also got the user replaceable hard drive module there. Now the battery actually has a special locking mechanism just here, and I'll show you that. It prevents you from accidentally removing the battery when you're in a hazardous environment, and that requires 2 hands to remove the battery. But you can warm swap that battery, and that means that you can go into standby mode. When the PC is in standby mode, you can actually swap the battery, so you don't need to shut the machine right down, which is really good too. So all in all, the Xplore C5 is a really remarkable piece of kit. If you are working in a really high demand, rugged environment, then you'll want to check out this tablet PC because it can enable you to be much more mobile than you're currently being.